Today, we're exploring one of the most dramatic and thought-provoking stories from the Bible. The story of Job. It's a story of an innocent man blessed with wealth, a loving family, and a deep faith in God. But his life took a dramatic turn when he lost everything: his possessions, his children, and even his health. Despite his unimaginable suffering, Job remained steadfast in his faith. He struggled to understand why these terrible things were happening to him, especially since he had lived a righteous life and had not sinned. This story delves into the core themes of undeserved suffering, the challenge of maintaining faith in the face of adversity, and the ultimate question of divine justice. In this video, I'll explore these profound themes and uncover the timeless lessons from the story of Job. If you find this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more in-depth explorations of biblical stories. Now, let's dive into the remarkable story of Job. To truly understand the depth of Job's story, we need to start with who Job was and the life he led before his trials began. Job was known as a man of great integrity and faith. The Bible describes him as blameless and upright, one who feared God and shunned evil. Job was extremely prosperous. He had a large family with 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he was blessed with vast wealth, including thousands of livestock and numerous servants. His life was a picture of success and divine favor. Job's piety was evident in his regular practice of offering sacrifices to God on behalf of his children, fearing they might have sinned. However, Job's story takes a dramatic turn when a conversation in the heavenly realms sets the stage for his intense trials. God, in a meeting with his divine council, highlights Job's righteousness. But Satan, the accuser, challenges this by suggesting that Job is faithful only because of his blessings. Satan argues that if Job were to lose everything, his faith would crumble. God disagrees and allows Satan to test Job, but with the condition that Job's life be spared. After God permits Satan to test Job, his life is shattered in a series of rapid, devastating events. In a single day, Job receives messages that his oxen and donkeys have been stolen, his sheep and shepherds have been burned by fire from the sky, and his camels have been taken by raiders. Most tragically, a powerful wind collapses the house where his children were feasting, killing them all. Despite this unimaginable loss, Job's initial response is one of profound faith. He tears his clothes, shaves his head in mourning, and falls to the ground in worship. He famously declares, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." But Job's trials are not over. Satan returns to the heavenly council and argues that Job's faith will falter if his own health is threatened. God again permits Satan to test Job, this time afflicting him with painful sores from head to toe. Job is left sitting in ashes, scraping his sores with a piece of broken pottery, utterly devastated both physically and emotionally. But even in his anguish, Job does not curse God. His wife, witnessing his suffering, urges him to curse God and die, but Job rebukes her, asking, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Here, we see Job's resilience and steadfastness, but also the beginning of his deep struggle to understand the reasons behind his suffering. This internal conflict and search for meaning will be the driving force of the story as it unfolds. The heart of the book of Job is found in the intense dialogues and debates between Job and his friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. These conversations delve deep into the nature of suffering and divine justice, posing questions that have puzzled humanity for centuries. Job's friends accuse him of harboring secret sins, arguing that his suffering must be a punishment from God. They insist that Job should seek God's forgiveness. In response, Job asserts his innocence, maintaining that he has lived a righteous life and does not deserve such punishment. he challenges his friend's simplistic understanding of justice. Throughout these debates, Job expresses his deep anguish and frustration. He feels betrayed by his friends who, instead of offering comfort, accuse him of wrongdoing. As the debates between Job and his friends reach a stalemate, a young man named Elihu steps in. Frustrated by the lack of resolution, Elihu suggests that suffering can be a way for God to communicate and instruct us, rather than merely a punishment for sin. Elihu's speech prepares the ground for the ultimate divine response. He reminds us that human understanding is limited and that there is a greater purpose behind our trials that we may not immediately see. His words highlight the need for humility and the recognition that God's ways are beyond our comprehension, setting the stage for God's response to Job. Finally, God decided to respond to Job. Speaking out of a whirlwind, God addresses Job directly. Rather than answering Job's questions about his suffering, God poses a series of questions about the creation and operation of the universe. These questions highlight the vastness and complexity of God's creation, emphasizing how little Job, and by extension all humans, truly understand about the world. God asks Job if he was present at the creation of the earth, if he can control the constellations, or if he understands the ways of wild animals. The purpose of these questions is to show Job the limitations of human knowledge and perspective. Through this, God reveals that his wisdom and plans are far beyond human comprehension. To further illustrate his point, God describes two mighty creatures, Behemoth and Leviathan. These beings, often seen as symbols of chaos and danger, are presented as part of God's creation, over which he has complete control. Behemoth is depicted as a powerful, untamed beast, while Leviathan is portrayed as a formidable sea creature, embodying the uncontrollable forces of nature. By highlighting these creatures, God emphasizes that there are aspects of the world that are beyond human control and understanding, yet they are all within his sovereign power. This reinforces the idea that God's wisdom and governance of the world are far more complex and profound than Job can comprehend. Job responds with humility and repentance. He acknowledges his limitations and the greatness of God's wisdom, saying, "I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know." This encounter with God transforms Job's perspective, teaching him and us that faith involves trusting in God's greater plan, even when we do not understand our suffering. After that, God rebukes Job's friends for not speaking the truth about him as Job did. Even in his anguish and confusion, God commands them to offer sacrifices and tells them that Job will pray for them, and he will accept Job's prayer on their behalf. In the final part of the story, Job's fortunes are restored. God blesses Job with even greater wealth than he had before, giving him twice as much livestock. Job is also blessed with a new family, 7 sons and 3 daughters, described as the most beautiful women in the land. And finally, God gives Job a long and prosperous life, so he could see his descendants to the 4th generation. The Job's story emphasizes that while suffering and injustice are part of the human experience, they do not negate God's ultimate goodness and sovereignty. Job's restoration serves as a testament to the rewards of steadfast faith and the hope that, even in our darkest moments, there is a greater plan beyond our understanding. Job's journey teaches us that suffering is not always a result of personal sin and can occur to the righteous. It shows us the importance of maintaining faith in the face of adversity and trusting in God's greater wisdom, even when our understanding is limited. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the story of Job. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of profound stories and their lessons. May God be with you.